To make sure I can survive this myself, I've lit a fire. Then it's out onto the ice. The only real way to show you the technique for doing this is to do it myself, for real. Okay, first thing I've got to do is try and get some semblance of control back again and fight this sense of shock. And the way I do this is to try and control my breathing. And when I'm safe-ish distance away, get up, and I've got to get these wet clothes off now. I'm going to be losing heat almost 25 times faster than when I'm dry. And this is now my big danger. I've got to get to safety and get dry. I've made it back to the edge of the lake, but I'm getting really, really cold now. And I've had a fire that I started here before that with some wood that I scavenged, but it's gone out, which is just not ideal. And I've just got to get out of these clothes. What's just so hard is my fingers are just completely numb on these laces. Okay, now I've just got to get dry, but obviously I've just got no towel. What I can do though is use some of this snow, and even though it looks completely crazy, it's a really good way just to absorb some of the moisture off my body, and then just try and get some blood going again. Come on! I've got to get this fire going now. Come on. Fire. Okay, now this fire's going. I've just got to get this clothes dry. Go in under the ice and show what it's like under there and how hard it is to then get out. I'm going to leave my socks on just because if I try and stand on this ice with bare skin, it will stick. And then the last thing I need to do before I go in is tie this safety line to myself. If you don't see me come out of that ice within 20 seconds, pull on this rope. Serious, you just pull on it, okay? And if I'm honest, I'm a little bit scared of this. Instantly, my pulse is up around the 200 mark. It feels as though the air has been sucked out of me. But I've got to keep calm. Hyperventilate in this, and you'll drown. Okay, first, before I try and swim under this, is control my breathing. If I try and go now, with a pulse rate as fast as mine is, I'll never be able to control it. So give me 5 seconds. Blood is rushing to protect my core. My heart's working flat out. There's a serious risk in here of cardiac arrest. Okay, here we go. Once in, there's no turning back, and I've got to keep going, trying to reach the light of the thinner ice. But the cold is literally squeezing the air out of me. I'm at my very limit now. But once through the ice, you're still not out of trouble. My eyes. Feels like they're gone like frozen solid. Okay, but I need to get out of here now. And I need to do this first time. Underneath there is a truly horrible place to be. This is the point at which most people can die. That's right. Your body temperature only needs to drop a couple of degrees for you to fall into a coma, and that can happen within minutes. Got to get dry. The water's already freezing to my body. What I can do is just use some of this powdered snow, and it might look a little bit crazy, but what it does is it absorbs a lot of the moisture. Gotta get warm, gotta get dry. I gotta get closer. You know, I can't say enough just how careful you gotta be with water this cold. You know, and be such a killer. You've gotta be prepared for something like this.
If you get your clothes wet, they'll freeze on you and be useless for insulation. So they're going in my pack with my portable fire.
Whoa, slow down the bag. Okay, let's get into this.
This kind of survival is measured in seconds. It's agony on my bare skin, and even the camera has frozen, but you gotta keep focused.
I use this ice block to try and float my rucksack across. And that probably stands a better chance of staying dry then.
The ice block is still floating with all my gear, and is helping me struggle across the rocky bottom.
So far it's looking okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, we're in.
The shock of hitting the freezing water can cause cardiac arrest as the veins in your body constrict. So stay calm, keep your wits. If you black out here, you're dead.
Okay, it's over the deep end. Let's get ashore.
I'm out of the river, but not out of danger. A core temperature drop of just 3 degrees is enough to send the body into hypothermic shutdown. I have to get warm and fast.
Okay.
What I packed in my bag looks like it stayed dry. But until that flame goes, you never know.
Okay, let that catch and just get a layer on. But this is why being prepared is so important. You know, it just allowed me to have this fire lit literally within a minute and a half of being out of that water. And that's why I'm able to do this. Okay. Oh man, that is nice.
Blue is cold, red, white is hot. So if I put my hand, you can see my hand at the moment is warm, red, white. So if it goes in the water, and you can see a blue hand. Look at that. So we'll see how much of Bez's body turns blue.
Time to get my kit off.
There's nothing fun about stripping off nice warm layers. Okay, well I'm hooked up to this transmitter as well, and that's just showing my heart rate, but also my breathing rate.
It's all linked up to a laptop, so the team can monitor me in real time. I've got to swim over 80 feet. Half of that is under solid ice.
Let's go for this. It's much harder than normal. Whenever I've done this before, it's been part of a journey. You come across a river, you just get on and do it. This is much more premeditated. Okay, first you've got to do is fight that sense of panic that's very natural when you're in freezing cold water like this. And instantly I feel my heart rate just goes straight through the roof. You've got to keep eyes on me, okay? We've got no safety line here. You need to get it straight.
Survival is all about understanding and controlling your reflexes. Watch as my heart rate drops from 160 beats per minute to 55. It's known as a mammalian dive reflex. When your face is submerged in cold water, the heart slows dramatically. It gives you vital extra seconds to make it to the surface.
Well, their hands are getting too cold when they're fishing. They can no longer touch their finger, little finger and thumb together. It means they've got to start warming their hands up.
The clock's ticking. Stay in here another few minutes and you'd be unable to swim. After 10 minutes, you'd be unconscious and drown. This is the longest ice swim I've ever attempted. Crippled by the cold, my swimming has become laboured. It's a big ask for my already weakened body.
My head. Gotta get out of here.
What you do next could mean the difference between life and death.
Makes you feel quite faint.
Yes, now to get my clothes back on.
That was cold. That's it, I'm done with ice swims.